Hello and welcome to Embodied Mindfulness Meditation. My name is Dina Asher Kushnir, and I welcome you to embark on a path of inner discovery and healing through the interwoven practices of Buddhist mindfulness meditation and somatic learning. May it be of benefit to you and those around you. Namaste.
So let's just stand because I want to continue in the series of standing. And find a place where you will be able to at least take one step forward and one step backwards. Will be some stepping. So first, let's just find that place where you can maybe even sideways, one step sideways to the right, to the left, forward, and backwards. That's so kind of a little square space for yourself. And when you find it, just stand with 2 feet on the ground. Feel a deep breath coming in. Another deep breath. Just being here. Simple. It's no big deal. Just being here. And slowly, gently coming to the touch sensation under your feet, the ground under your feet, with a small kind of tiny bit of bending the knees, and noticing the breath, and coming up, slowly, gently. The point is not to bend the knees and not bending the knees. The point is in inquiring into the nature of sensations and feeling as we come down into the ground, putting the weight even deeper when we're bending the knees, and not much, and really doing it slowly. It's not an exercise, it's an inquiry. And yours is the breath. Is the breath coming in when you bend the knees? Or it's going out when you bend the knees? Let's do that tiny bit and notice. Start noticing. Is the weight is more on the heels or on one heel in particular? Or on the toes? Can you feel the place on the foot that does not touch? You know, there is a place where there is an arch. And come up. When you come up, notice how there is an energy to that are pushing down as you come up. And then when you go bending the knees, notice there is some kind of coming upward as you bending the knees. Let's explore that. And when you coming upward to straighten the knee, there is some kind of pushing into the ground. And when you come down, bending the knees, there is that something upward in you. Yeah. Some kind of forces that helps you. And the muscles are definitely working towards that. And now come to just standing still and feeling Feeling the ground underneath. Feel the hips now. The hip joints. And now when we do now, bend the knees again. Notice the hip joint and the pelvic. Where are they going? And when you bend a little bit more, where the tailbone is going, where the pubic bone, and when you are straightening the knee, what happened to the tailbone, the pubic bone, the hip joint? So now we're going to do a little deeper bending with the inquiry, slowly, gently, of what is happening to the hip joint. And if we even bend deeper, what's happening to the upper body, to the hands, if you allow them, and the return to straighten the neck, straighten the knee. Notice how the parts of the body kind of coming on top of each other. And when you come bending the knee, see how the upper body, where's the upper body? Maybe it goes forward more. Maybe there's a bending of the spine. Maybe the neck and the head are coming down. And maybe not. It's not the movement itself. It's what we are noticing that is now in the forefront of our work. And stand up and feel, just feel, rest. And I'll take a few steps just to rest, to kind of erase what we did. Just that, just walk a little bit, like forward, backward, just a little bit. We woke up, hopefully. Yeah. And now come back. And as you feel the feet underneath you, bring the weight, bring the hip towards forward, like take the hip forward and notice now there's inquiry, what happened to the weight shifting in your feet, and what happened to the upper body when you take your hip forward? Where's the weight in your toes? Maybe are they on the heel still? Notice. And then when you come back, notice the shifting of the weight. And again, just that movement, slowly on your own time, investigating when you take your pubic bone, your hip bone, your sacrum, everything forward. What happened to the weight? What happened to the upper body? What happened to the belly muscles? What happened to the hands? And when you come forward again, or back straight, notice the breath. Let's do that a few more times. Just say, are you taking your pubic bone together with the whole body, the upper body, or the upper body goes backwards when the lower body coming forward? Notice. There is no one way. There is so many ways, but you notice your way. Is your hip forward? Is your back, your shoulders backward? Or the shoulders with the hip? And what happened to the weight? And then come back and rest in standing. And then take a few steps. Notice the breath. And now come back to standing. And just a few moments, we'll take the right hip joint, or the right side of the hip to the right, and see what happened to the left. See what happened to the weight. And then come center, take it to the right again. So now that's the movement. Now we know the movement. Yeah, it's simple enough. And now just investigate what happened to the left hand. What happened to the left shoulder? What happened to the neck? What happened to the weight on the left side? Yeah, just keep investigating. How far are you going? What happened? Where's the weight on the foot? And then come back. Always resting when you come back. Take a second of just being centered. And then you go again. And now noticing what the right hand doing, the right shoulder doing, and slowly let the right shoulder and right hand come up to the ceiling. And slowly when you come back to center, let the hand and the arm and the shoulder just come back to center again. So that's the movement. You're taking the hip joint, right hip joint to the right. You notice the rib cage, the hip, the weight, the breath, and then raising the arm upward to the ceiling. See what happened. How do you balance? Is the right hand going, the right arm going to the left to balance you? And notice how long is the right side now from the foot all the way to the tip of the finger, to the middle finger. And then, so that's the movement. It's very easy. Just do it with attention, with inquiry. Where do you feel the movement the most? What's happened to the left rib cage? Does it become close to each other? The ribs are shortening the distance between them. The left hand may be down towards the floor when the right hand up towards the ceiling. Just inquire, and maybe not. So there always the possibility of not, or something else. And let's stand, center, and then walk a little bit. And notice the difference now between the right foot and the right left, is the right side of the body and the left side of the body. When you walk, this probably you will feel some differences. And that's really the point in our work, is the differences. Can you feel the difference? Nice, beautiful. And now come back. I promise I will balance you. Come back to the center. Notice the breath. And now we're doing the left side the same way. Very simple. But the not simple is to inquire into the nature of this movement. So the hip joint going to the left, what is going to the right when the hip going to the left? You see, it has to be this physics. Yeah, we have to be balanced. If something go one side, another part goes to the other side. Which side goes to the right? Just do that movement. It's like going to the hip joint, and then notice the rib cage on the left, on the right. Notice the difference. Shifting of the weight. Notice where the weight is. Are you breathing? And when you're ready, you can take your left hand, arm up towards the ceiling. Notice what happened to the right. And slowly, always come slowly, gently back to center and wait in the center. Always. It's not the repetition even. It's every movement, every nanosecond of this movement is an inquiry into the nature of the movement, of the body moving. Yeah. Maybe it's a different sensation here on the left. Maybe there's a pain somewhere when you go to the left. Maybe it's more constricted. What does it feel like? Maybe it's freer. And then where's the left hand when your left hip goes to the left? To keep balance, how do you do that? Well, what the physics of the body doing for you not to fall? You see, there's a physics. It's the nature of reality is the law of physics. And the body obeys. And we inquire. And come to center always. Rest in the center. Always after every movement. And then walk a little bit. And now notice the difference. If there is a little bit more equilibrium between right and left or not. And let's, when we finish the movement, let's just take your clasp your hands together and take the palm of the hand towards the ceiling. And then just take both the two palms to the right and to the left, and notice how the hips is now moving to the right and to the left. Yeah. And again, do it gently, slow, so you can feel, well, how does it feel now? Yeah. You see, it's so simple, and yet it's not automatic. It's not mindless. It's mindfulness, which means full attention, awakened state. Beautiful. And to the center, feel the breath. If you want to do anything else, just to feel your body waking, we are going to sit down. Take a minute for yourself. And feel. Now you have the difference between the moment you stood up and the moment that you're now going to sit down. Just notice, take your time, inquire. And come back. Thank you. That's beautiful. So when we shift from standing to sitting, there is a whole inquiry that we can do, and maybe next time to say the inquiry, how we shift from standing to sitting. What is happening to the body? Which body part is moving? Which body part is folding? Which body part is opening? That kind of mindfulness is pretty awesome. So let's see what the meditation of the offering of meditation from this experience will come to our minds. Let's start. So welcome home to your sitting body, sitting posture. Notice the skeleton sitting. Just imagine that the sitting body is a sitting skeleton. What do you see in your imagination? the skull, the two holes where the eye is supposed to be, the seventh cervical, in the neck, the shoulder girdle, the breastbone, clavicle, the rib cage. Just see as if you have how do you say that? Those Röntgen, those deep seeing when we take those things in the office, in the doctor office. I don't remember the name. But you can see the bones, only the bones, and how the structure of the body sitting through the skeleton. And from the place where the rib cage is ending, there is only the 5 lumbar vertebrae that holding the skeleton continues. And then you have the sacrum, the sacred bones. Actually, sacrum is sacred bones. It come around with the ilium, ilia, and then there's the hip joint and the thigh bone, the knee. You notice the geometry of it. There's a roundness, kind of circular in the area of the skull, in the area of the rib cage, and then the area of the pelvic. It's like a circular, but it's more like a basket structure. And see how that continuum with the bones connecting to each other, back to the knees, to the two bones of the lower legs, the connection between the 2 bones in the ankle, the foot, the toes. Not fascinating structure. Let's sit with that image of the skeleton sitting, the bone, bare bones. Maybe you feel that one side is higher than the other. One shoulder girdle is kind of towards the ceiling. Maybe. Notice. Now, we're going to continue to this inquiry of the skeleton. Notice the length of the 7th cervical vertebra. What's the length of it? What's the shape of it? And notice where those vertebrae starts in the skull. It's actually start pretty deep in the skull. It starts between the ears. In the shape of your skull. Can you imagine the circumference of your skull? Where's the center point on the top of your head in that round shape? It's like a it's like a dome shape. You feel the shape of the jaws. Can you move the jaws open and close, just to feel where the two jaws, the upper and lower, meets. Where when the upper jaw go up and lower jaw go down, where they are connected by the ears. But we are not having ears now, we're having only the bones. And down to the shoulder girdles. See if you can measure in your mind's eyes the distance between the vertebra of the neck to the tip of the shoulder on the right. And measure the left. Are they equal in length? You now come to the end of the cervical spine and come down to the 12 thoracic vertebra. Can you follow vertebra by vertebra the sensation? Maybe you have the image of how it looks. What's the shape of it? The round shape. It hosts the central nervous system. So it's a very important shape that can host this cable of electricity actually in the body. Like electrical cables. And come down to the thoracic vertebra, one after the other, are connected to the rib cage in the back. Can you feel the extension of it, the connection, and how it extends itself and round itself? To meet the vertebra from the front of the body. Kind of a continuation. And in the front, can you sense the length of the breastbone from the tip of the clavicle all the way down to the area where it ends, and how it connects to the rib cage in the front, to the rib bones. You feel the whole shape. It hosts very dear, very precious organs. So it has to have a precise shape to do that. It's just a million of years of evolution to support and to protect. The whole skeleton is support and protection and movement. It's such a function for our life. We usually pay attention to the muscles. We don't go deep into the deepest part of ourselves that holding us, that protecting, that hosting within it the precious organs. And now we move to the 5 lumbar spine, which is more maybe in your body. You will see maybe it's curved, maybe not. Some of us is curved more, but notice yours. A curve in the lumbar vertebra that goes into fusion. The other vertebrae of the sacrum are fused together, actually, to create the sacrum. And all the way down the sacrum, there is the tailbone. Feel the shape of all this beautiful basket that hosts the digestive system. Like a basket holding the fruit. Together with the sit bones and the pubic bones, beautiful basket. And there's the orb of the skull, the orb of the rib cage, and the orb of the hips, of the pelvic. 3 orbs. One on top of each other. Notice where they are connected, how they are on top of each other. Is one part forward more than the other? You see? There's a whole shape for us to be able to move and to function. It's a functional, integrated function. That's functional integration. And then we have the joint with the legs, with the bones of the thighs, the knees, the lower leg, and the feet. Just go shape by shape, connection by connection. All the way to the 26 bones of each foot. Intricate shape to be able to stand up and kind of hold this skyrise shape. You know, 2 tiny pillars, no foundation that holds the whole building, one on top of each other. We started to develop in our evolutionary development when we were able to do the standing, because our eyes, instead of looking downward to the ground, start looking up to the horizons and to the sky. We're starting to be the conduit of a different energy. The sky energy, the sun, the moon, the planet, the divine, down towards the top of our head, downwards towards the earth, where they're connecting the earth energy. So we stop being the only earth connection, we start being sky connection. And that's when our brain, through our eyes, started to develop. Evolutionary. Isn't it amazing? This function, this bone skeleton structure is functioning so we can incarnate and be connected to the energies of heaven and earth, the mother and the father, the divine and the material, the spiritual and the material. Let's sit a few minutes just to feel the skeleton. In Hebrew, the word bone is the name, the word is etzem. Etzem is also the word from the main thing, the core thing. And when I say I want the core, deep thing that I'm talking about, it's an etzem, the etzem einyan, the core, the depth of the matter is the bone. There's a very deep evolutionary information for us. In it, inside it, there's a factory where they produce the red blood cell, another core life for us, the red blood cell. Our blood is being produced inside that core. The core in the matter. It's the etzem. It's also the lust to disintegrate when the body lay down into the earth or even being cremated, the lust to disintegrate, or even sometimes it does not even burn. There's always bones that are not burning or not disintegrating. There's something very deep to get in touch with those depths of those bones. And most ancient, actually. In our revolutionary journey. Evolutionary journey. It wasn't a revolution too when it's created, but it was evolutionary journey. So take your time. Enjoy that beautiful, deep touch of yourself in this way. It's very deep unconscious. So you might fall asleep when you do that because we touched such a deep unconscious. So that's okay. You can go to sleep, but it's still there holding you even when you sleep. Isn't it nice? You don't need to be afraid of falling. You have the skeleton holding you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. May you be safe. May you be well. And may all beings be free of suffering. Namaste.